This is KGL and welcome back everybody to Surviving the Aftermath, Outposts 1.2. In today's episode, we're going to continue our adventure in our survival guide. Our next couple of goals for surviving over the next couple of days are going to be to establish metal refineries. So if we go ahead and go into our tech tree, we go into our production, we go into industrial mining. You notice we have metal extractor, concrete extractor, and plastic extractor. These are all the things that we're going to need for late game survival. We need to go ahead and research either energy production 2 or battery stacking. In this case, I like to go with energy production 2 right off the bat so we can get large solar panels. This is going to help us late game for sure when we get multiple buildings up and going. Research into our industrial mining and go ahead and get our late game materials. So that's pretty much what we're going to do for the next couple of days. We are going to go ahead and go into some fast forward play, so go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the gameplay. We'll go ahead and just put a tent for now. Go ahead and see what they want. We'll go ahead and have a feast of cord. Whenever we have a feast, let's do it. And just in case you guys missed the quick tip episode today, we're going to go over combat one more time very shortly, but we did make a separate video on this. In order to be able to tell how much damage we do to our opponent, we could look at our power. Our power is on our left hand side in the upper hand corner next to the fist. We have a power of 4. Our opponent has a blocking of 3. We could look at the lower right hand corner. So that means we could still get through a shield and do between 2 and 7 damage. So anytime we have the opportunity to do damage, we'll always do so. If we look at Zhang, his power level quite doesn't make it through, so we might not do damage at all. This Nomad has the potential of blocking all the damage. We can test it next turn, but I'm pretty sure it would just block all the damage and we would just get hurt in return. Another thing we're going to talk about really quick, since we have the time, we're going to talk about exploring and scavenging. So we're going to go back and look at our specialists one more time. If we look at our specialist overview, we can look at our scavenge ability. Each one of our specialists has a different type of scavenge ability. We notice that Zhang has the best. This means we have a resource multiplier of whatever resource we are gathering. So if it's a highly valuable resource, make sure you always send your best gatherer there. You notice Dragon is not that great of a resource gatherer, but she does have a better attack than Zhang. So just keep that in mind as you're going about. The world picking up resources. Just gonna check around right now. We can't do a whole lot until we get more survivors. We're kind of stuck until our colony grows. We could always look at our statistics once again. We could always look at our colonists, making sure everybody's healthy. If we don't see anybody that is at optimal health, we should always find out why. But everybody's above 80%, so we are doing okay. This is like the first time I haven't had I haven't had people come to my gate. Where are they? We just can't do anything. We're just gonna be stuck here for the next couple of days. Oh yeah, do we? We're gonna go ahead and put our general nuclear waste storage down. For all our waste storage and everything else like that, we're gonna try to keep it away from the colony. Let's see. I really want it to go. I guess for right now we'll have it go right here, because we don't want it too far away while we're doing our initial cleanup. So this will be good enough. And then we'll go ahead and put down our environmental station, and this will establish our initial cleanup area. So we're gonna go ahead, we don't want to build our wind turbines, they're super fragile. We're just gonna go ahead and build solar panels for right now. Solar panels are efficient and they're cheap. And this will help us start our initial cleanup so we can expand our colony easier. So each one of our solar panels will produce 8 energy. Our environmental station will consume, I believe it's 12, which means we need to have at least 2 solar panels going. But we're going to build multiple solar panels so we can also build battery storage, which we have right here. We have small battery racks. We're going to go ahead and put those down as well so we can also have power at night. And that's going to be our initial cleanup area. We have another group of survivors at the gate. Wow, this is great. We are starting to get colonists. We're going to ignore for now. We have 40 colonists currently. We need to see to make sure we don't have any babies, because if we have a bunch of children and we also accept a bunch of colonists at the same time, we will overboom our population. Alright everybody, we have now officially hit late game of Survive the Aftermath Outposts 1.2. If you made it this far, congratulations. If you made it in with 40 days without any deaths, congratulations as well. As you see, we have survived 4 disaster events. We've taken on 7 groups. No, sorry, we've taken on 5 groups and turned away 2. And we've survived 41 days. At this point, it's just pretty much cleaning up radiation and establishing our deep underground resource mining and continuing our survival. At this point, you could go any route in the game you wish to go. You could have a sudden surge of survivalists come in. You could do whatever you want. This is as far as the game goes, as far as Outposts 1.2, but we will continue the guide. Ooh, we got a nuclear fallout coming. The horizon starts turning from blue to toxic green and the air seems to burn your lungs. These are the first signs of impending danger. Intense radiation is a constant threat, with both colonists and crops withering and dying during the nuclear fallout. New seeds cannot be planted before it's over. Severe cases of radiation sickness and thirst take their toll on everyone. Harvest crops before they wither. Gather iodine pills from the world map to cure radiation sickness quickly. Build more medical tents or assign more workers to existing ones to help those who are. So pretty much this is basically exactly like a pandemic. It's a little bit worse. We're hitting a very late game, so we don't really have to worry. All our crops will die. So one day before the nuclear fallout hits, we're going to go ahead and harvest everything, and then we're just going to hope that we have enough food to survive through the whole thing. It shouldn't be that big of a problem. Our colony is quite stable. We only have 46 colonists, and we have plenty of resources. Oh, we will more than survive. Absolutely nobody will die. And I can guarantee that. Stamp of approval. Okay, we're going to take everybody out of the medical tents. We need the additional carriers right now. No one's hurting. Go back to the outer world, make sure all our specialists get back into the colony. There's a radiation storm. Alright, we'll go ahead and remove all these guys since no one can grow. We're going to make sure all our tents are fully staffed. There we go. Tents are fully staffed. No one should get sick. We're going to also establish one more tent down here over this work area. We'll go ahead and accept. Not worried about getting sick right now. Happiness is fine. Go ahead and move our work area. And we'll go ahead and establish our first drill. Do I not have it? And we'll go ahead and establish our metal extractor. Metal extractors are extremely slow, so to make sure you meet your demand in production with metal resources, make sure you build plenty of them. There we go. Everything should go back to growing now. We need to establish firewood. Now that we're at this point of the game, guys, we need to start establishing our forestry. So we're going to use this area over here as our forestry. We're going to gather firewood. We're going to need 2 foresters for every wood gathering building we have. So we'll go ahead and establish our 2 foresters. And remember, foresters can only affect ground that is fertile. You can tell that whether the ground has grass or if it's just brown, or you could use your F11 key again. We'll go ahead and set up a logging camp as well. We'll have our second forester. We're going to go ahead and at this point also research Remembrance. Remembrance is going to unlock our paved roads, and paved roads will give us a 50% movement speed. So this means all the roads in our colony need to be upgraded to paved roads at this point. We're going to go ahead and move our first forester. We're going to establish him out here. We're going to put our logger also out here. Now we're going to move this forester also out here. Alright, so our next big goal right here is boring methods. We want to be able to get our large bore well and our large water tower. This will allow us to get a mass amount of water. That way, during our population booms, we can sustain our colony and make sure we don't run out of water. Alrighty, here's our next catastrophe, the Meteor Shower. Before the apocalypse, people said that when you see a shooting star, you make a wish and it will come true. It's hard to believe, because nowadays when you see a shooting star, we always hope to live through the day, but it never works. Sky turns red as burning rocks fall through the atmosphere, intense showers of deadly objects plummet towards the colony and cause widespread damage. Meteorites cause damage to buildings and people, reserve enough construction materials for repairs, have carriers at hand to do the repairs, and build better shelters to keep colonists safe. So we already are starting to establish better housing, which are these tenements. We do eventually want to get into full-on houses, but this is what we have for now. As far as destruction, asteroids will come down and hit our colony and destroy random objects. We'll just have to go ahead and rebuild them. If we do not repair a building that gets struck quick enough, it will burn up and become destroyed. Here comes the meteor storms. So we'll casually scan around, make sure nothing gets destroyed. Make sure our scrapper doesn't have anything to go pick up. I think we are actually, for reals this time, out of material. Yep, that was the rest of our metal. Alright everybody, that is going to be the next 30 days in Surviving the Aftermath, Outposts 1.2. Here we were survived the next 30 days. We hit a couple, we had a nuclear fallout, we had a meteor strike, and a couple of other catastrophic events, but we managed to make through them all just fine. We got our colony up and going. We started our cleanup so we could establish new farms and get our food production more laid out and better producing. We cleaned up the radiation waste so we could get our food production better set up. And we started our metal production so we can get our late game metal. We still have one more metal foundry to go before we're established for later late game building. And we need to establish our deep wells next game. Alright everybody, and that was the next 30 days in Surviving the Aftermath, Outposts 1.2. We survived the next 30 days. We made it through many catastrophic events. We made it through a nuclear radiation fallout, meteor strike, and multiple pandemics. We established multiple new farms and cleaned up radiation around our primary base. We set up tenements to help us be better protected against nuclear fallout and meteor strikes. And we're starting to spider out and grow our colony better so we can establish ourselves for late game. Our colonists are also doing very well in producing children at an alarming rate, so the next 30 days I'm sure we'll have doubled our population. We need to make sure we keep our population under control by not taking in any more survivor groups, or we need to decide whether or not we want to start doing some controlled deaths. That'll be it for this episode, and thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.